All right, looking at the back box, we've got our patches that we put down into the back end system, and I'll film more of that. But fire extinguisher, spare plug, spare live well plug, spare prop, toolkit, first aid, just a lot of little happy goodness there. And it works, gives you good storage, keeps the boat clean. Okay, my middle box, or Apache box, is pretty neat. I've got my little tree grabber, side planers. I got my clips for my kayak rail system in here, as well as the rod holders. Everything stores up in there, but that's what accessorizes the boat. And I'll go over that in a minute, but that's why I named it Kayak Killa, because it's just a heck of a system. But little work my wife did for me, so that's kind of nice. Came out really good, but we'll go over all of it. All right, the Kayak Killa is essentially done, and I wanted to share a video of what I did with a Gheenoe LT25, my rendition. And to me, other than spending a bunch of money on extra electronics and crazy stuff, there ain't a kayak out there gonna hold a candle to it. Anyhow, let's take a look. We'll start at the nose. I went real simple. Got a 55-pound motor guide, and that's kind of sweet. And I like the foot control. It's just something I enjoy doing. Some of it you can get away with not spending a ton of money on if you choose to, but spot lock's nice too, so I won't dog it. We do have a battery box built in. Got access to go in and do things if I need to. Up at the front of it, we've got a dry bag from Filfree, and we've got lighting, charging systems, another port right here for the trolling motor, as well as here. And we've got 200 amp batteries, one in the middle, one up in the nose cap. I built a center box area for the front pedestal that allows me to hang some musky plugs and what have you, so that's kind of nice. And basically did a little bit of teak trim and did our little floor pads, what have you, a little bit of EVA work. This is where the kayak twist comes in. I used the Unitrack system from Filfree and some rails, and all of this is removable and storable in this middle box. And it allows me to do what I want to do. Put my phone here if I choose to, drink, whatever. Got my reach pliers for the muskie. And oops, I forgot to mention in the nose. Yeah, we've got an Eagle Live Eye, Eagle 9. And so we do have forward-facing sonar. And I also have side scan, which from the driver's seat, you can see basically everything you need to go or have go on with this boat. It's laid out pretty nice. Got our stick steering and our controls. This control here goes to a Panther 55 in the back, which gave me that 8-inch extension, pushing the motor back 8 inches, which allowed me to come up a little higher and get a little more performance out of a 20. And I chose the 20 for the weight ratio getting around the rock river areas here, so it's been a big help. Both the rod holders up front, it allows me to lay at least a rod down for a follow-up lure. So if I'm throwing a top water and they miss that top water, I've got a follow-up lure ready to go. And that just, of course, you know, it truly helps. Coming back around, like I said, we've got our center drive area where we drive. Inside here, I've got a live well up to here. I'll show you from the other side. Forward battery box. And we've got 2 more of the dry bags, the Filfrees, our rod storage inside, and a little custom work my wife did for the boat, Boss Bass, so he's kind of cool. And up inside of here, I've got my cast net and a battery system, which runs the motor and the power poles, and it's just off of a Gold Wing, so that was kind of cool. We've got more accessories here, which is our lure retriever. It comes out 15 feet. It also has a screw-in end that'll actually let you pole it. And then I've got my camera mounts here if I wanted to use it that way. But again, using kayak systems to modify and do. Again, another rod holder. Oh, there's the Yeti with coffee. Back seat. Again, nice little setup, nothing complex, nothing super expensive. And here we've got another storage box. We got a 6-gallon gas tank, automatic bilge, got our aerator pump back here, the whole 9 yards. Of course, I got my little bag of soap down there, and the Irish Spring definitely keeps the mice out of the boat. Now on the back, we built our brackets. We've got our micro power poles. We got both of the power poles, and there's the Panther Model 55, and you can see the space back between the transom and where we actually have our motor mount going on. And in turn, I went with the 20 horsepower Suzuki, which gives me plenty of power. I'm running a 13 pitch, and it runs out pretty darn nice. It's me myself, I can almost pop 30, and that's pretty good with the setback. But definitely a nice clean layout. This was the power tilt model, and it's a hell of a lot cheaper than their trim and tilt model. But this is identical on them. It's the same. They just don't wire it to your control, where I went in and wired to the main switch back to the control, and it absolutely works wonders. So we'll show you that in a second. But definitely a nice layout. Another rail system here. I still got to set it up and do the rod holder on this side. Got our throw cushion, so that's of course important to have. And coming back to the battery box area, we've got our switch in here, so that's power on. We've got our live well, so that's nice. We also have a air system in it, which is right there, which is a Freybill. And again, another 100 amp setting here, so that part of it's kind of cool to have, and works out good. Here we've got our net, got a custom net made by my brother Jerry Banks, and he does some of the prettiest network that I've seen. My first scratch. I hate it. Oh well, it's gonna get more. But yeah, it's laid out. Got all my switches for my bilge pump and just generally everything that I use on the boat. So, you know, again, it's very simplistic. And again, here's our side view Lowrance system. But yeah, that's the Kayak Killa. And it's an old 2000 trailer that I've had forever, and it's just been a great setup for me. So that part of it's nice. And coming back around, you've got your trim and tilt. So we've got it all applied in there. But not only that, this one here, got to turn the power on. It'll adjust with the micros, so I can play with that as well. So I've got technically 2 trim systems, and there's a lot you can do with that, but it takes a lot of tweaking and understanding of it, you know, and playing with it to get it the way you want it. But it's pretty interesting, and I really enjoy, you know, having that. And of course the double micro power pole, it's a pretty cool addition. And we've got the fob system for it, as well as up front. We can bring them all the way up, and it'll lock out, and then it sets them back in and locks them in, which is nice, because if you forget to do it, or forgot to do it and haul ass across some rough water, you can shoot your poles out of the tubes and lose your poles. So I think that's a nice addition. And then if you double tap, it drops them down and sets it. So it's digging it into the dirt. I've got it right now setting on the lighter system, just playing with it when I tuned it in. But it's a hell of a system and a hell of a layout. The room you have in this, the capacity you have in this boat is just phenomenal. And for 2 anglers, it's just a fishing machine. So, you know, Gheenoe designed a beautiful hull, and I just took this bare bones hull and went through it and did my work with it and my thoughts and my ideas, and it really came out very, very nice. And you can do it on a budget. You can buy the hull and add a piece at a time, because that's how I built this, and looked for the deals and what have you. And I think I saved like $2,000 on that Suzuki just shopping that. And you know, it makes it pretty cool. Of course, I made a teak paddle for it, and again the 6-gallon tank, and I built the rack in here so that we had to support, you know, an extra room that way your floor stays completely clean. The power poles, they actually stow. I got the charger on it right now. The rod goes through here and stows all the way up and lays right up at the foot, out of your way. It's not in the middle way, it's not in the top front way, and just a hell of a layout. But I'm going to say thank you to Pooger and the team at Custom Gheenoe, and you've designed one hell of a 16-foot boat that is now a kayak killer. So this is Captain Rick Banks and my edition of Custom Gheenoe's Low Tide 25 up here in Tennessee. Y'all take care and tight lines.